You've obviously steered clear of the dodgy linguine this week that got you last week. You're obviously keeping the diet pretty plain, I'd imagine. Yeah,
it's a better week this week to be here today for your last captain's run and team meeting is always pleasing for a coach. So a little bit of anxiety last week being at home, but good preparation this week and feeling ready to go.
Does Christian have to do more today to convince you, or will he definitely be playing?
He's 100% playing. He trained really well the other day in our main training session. He'll train again today, but we're really confident in terms of how he is. He's moving incredibly well, and we've been really surprised with his progression throughout the week. And he's the type of competitor that you want. He wants to play in big games and big finals, and this is a great opportunity for him to put himself on show with a little bit of adversity early in the week. So he's ready to go.
I might just think one more while I'm on a roll because I don't love Zoom. But there's been some reports today with I think it was Doc Larkins saying about his pain management. That sort of you might avoid pain-killing injections given sort of the side of the injury, and maybe have to get special permission to use something maybe a little bit stronger. Is that something that you're looking into? Can you give us a bit of insight into how he's going to manage it?
A couple of Panadol from Doc Larkin, I reckon. We'll back our medical team in. He won't need anything. He's fully fit. He's ready to go. As we've said all along throughout the whole week, the pain management's around his corky and making sure that's right. And he's not the only player in the year so far that's had a corky that's had to come up and play. So he'll be right to go. He won't need any pain management. He certainly won't need a Panadol. So we'll just get on with the game.
Would you have to adjust his role, put him in phases of the game given his preparation, or is he just 100% right for his normal duties?
He'll be just playing his normal role within the team. He'll be in the midfield, he'll play forward, he'll play a variety of different roles that sit within our game method. So as I've said all along, he's 100% ready to go. He'll train fully today. You'll notice him on the track. He'll be up and about, he'll have energy, and he'll be ready to go.
What about Charlie Spargo, Goody? He trained indoors the other day. How's he going?
Yeah, look, he didn't train in the main training session. He'll train today. He's progressed really well throughout the week and is really confident with where he sits, but he will have to get through today's training. But we are confident that he'll be able to do that. He just hasn't been able to do contact, but he'll do some of that today and train fully. And speaking to Charlie yesterday on our day off, he's really confident where he sits and how he's going to perform. So it's been a good chance to freshen him up. He's had a big load throughout the season, so he'll train today and look forward to play tomorrow.
And Tom McDonald. You go, Tom.
I'm happy to go. Well, I was going to ask, obviously McDonald, Melksham and Fritsch, Goody.
Yeah, look, we've got some guys certainly pressing in the forward half of the ground. Tommy McDonald's getting better every week. So he's giving us a bit of a selection headache about whether he's ready to come in or not. And we certainly won't be releasing that today. So Tom's certainly someone that's progressing really well, as is Jacob Van Ruin. Both guys are really pressing their claims for selection and putting some heat on our front half of the ground. So that's something we continue to debate and look at in our forward half of the ground. But we're certainly not going to announce that till later tonight.
I was going to ask you sorry about the camera, Goody, but Jacob Van Ruin, would you have no hesitation putting him into a final on debut?
Well, he's been emergency for the last 4 weeks, and we've got no hesitation to put him there, which means you've got confidence in his ability to play. So he's been in really good form. I'd have no hesitation if the opportunity presented itself to put him in the team. He's a big kid. He moves really well. He's good in the air. He's good at the ground level, and he plays a real combative style of footy. So I'd have no hesitation to put him into a big final.
I know you've got to take the team approach, Goody, but does that sort of infer that Ben Brown might be under selection pressure, or is he's 100%?
Oh no, I think you're always looking to see where your team is and how you can get better. But Brownie's had some good form leading up to the last few weeks. He's an experienced player. He kicks goals when he gets his opportunities. So he's no different to any other player within our team. Selection's tight, and we always look for ways to continue to improve our team. So. The guys from underneath, in terms of Tom McDonald and Jacob Van Ruin, are putting pressure on our guys in the front half of the ground, which is great for our team.
Just read Tom McDonald. I know you won't go into the selection.
We can't hear you there, mate.
Sorry.
What's that, sorry?
We can't hear you there.
You dropped out,
Just
mate.
dropped
Doing
out.
a Damien Hardwick on us, mate.
I'm off mute. Was that better? I'm off mute. Is that better?
Yep, that's good.
Sorry, Goody. Sorry, guys. Ray Tom McDonald, I know you can't go into the decision or you won't, but is it a case of maybe wanting to give that forward line support but also not being sure whether he just had enough football yet, given he's only had the one game back in the VFL?
Yeah, look, he's had 4 weeks back of main training. He's played 1 full game at VFL. We had a match simulation last weekend, and the decision needs to be made. Is that enough to really prepare yourself for a big final? So, one thing I do know, if he doesn't play this week, he will be right to go if we're fortunate enough to progress through. It's just going to be a really 50-50 call based on how we feel he is this week and where we need it. So, he's progressing really well. That's all we really are focused on, is making sure that he's back, fully fit, playing good footy and looking like a dominant player again. And he's moving closer to that all the time.
And you've got a good recipe against the Lions. I think you were particularly physical against them in the first half, like last time you played them. And, obviously Lions are a good side, but you guys were clearly better first half. You've got the blueprint to beat them. Do you want to sort of repeat that physicality tomorrow night?
We just know every time we play Brisbane, we've got enormous respect for their ability to win contested ball. They're a physical side, and that's how we play as well. So we don't go out there seeking to be more physical than the opposition. That's just who we want to be and how we want to play, and we want to be a big team that wins the contested ball. But we've got enormous respect for Brisbane in that phase of the game, and we know it's a big factor in the game. So we'll certainly set ourselves to perform well in that area of the game. There's no question about that.
It's time to give Max Gawn a bit more time in the ruck and maybe Luke Jackson more time in the forward line. They don't seem to be at their best in those respective roles. Were you comfortable with the mix you've got at the moment?
Yeah, look, last week probably, in hindsight, we probably should have given Max a little bit more time in the ruck. His game time in the ruck probably wasn't too much different to what it has been certainly throughout most of the season. I think he's still at 64 or 65% time in ruck compared to Luke. But Luke certainly had some really dominant games in the back half of the year as a ruckman. So we'll certainly give Max a little bit more responsibility throughout this week. He's a premier ruckman in the competition. We know what he can deliver for us, and that's certainly something that we've looked at.
All right, if that's it, we'll wrap it up there. No more?
Just one more, Simon. Will you advise your players against targeting Dane Zorko after the sledging incident only a few weeks ago?
We've spoken about that as a group, a few weeks ago. We don't want to be in a position where we play our footy like that. We want to be a team that's known for, playing the game the right way, playing hard footy, respecting our opposition, and playing in a really humble way. And that's the way we'll go about it again tomorrow night. Our focus tomorrow night is on our footy, performing at our best in front of our supporters at the MCG. There's no better place than playing a home final at the MCG, and we're looking forward to that more than anything.
Thanks, Goody.
Sorry, Goody, can I ask one more? It's a footy one, but just your scoring issues. Do you put it down to your forward line, given that you created so many turnovers last week and just couldn't score? Or is the way you move the footy a bigger issue this week for Lucas?
Yeah, look, I think we've seen that when we execute our turnover game and we move the footy the right way, our forwards are as dynamic as anyone. You only have to go back 2 weeks. Ability to hit the scoreboard was really strong. So there's no doubt it's not just our forward half, it's our ability to execute, it's our ability to win the turnover battle and how we move the ball. It's all related. But we certainly know that we need to maximise the opportunities in how we defend and maximise that on the scoreboard.